Hello and welcome to Terry Tuesday with it's like an echo going on here a little bit, Terry. So hold on one second, my man. Why don't you tell us a little bit about our new contest coming up for the month of November? I'll kick myself out, bring myself back in, and see if that indeed helps. So go ahead and tell them about the Team Terry and Charles versus Team Rich.
All right, I'll do that. Team Terry and Charles will have their picks during, have a certain horses that they pick to win or exactas, and then Team Rich will have his whatever he likes for the week, and then whoever comes out with the best profit at the end of the week,
End of the month,
end of the month, will win that monthly contest. And then somebody that picks the right team will win, a hat or something.
Well, we're going to give away a hoodie in the first month. It's winter time for most of the country. The kicking myself out really didn't help the echo very much. So, but what we're going to do, Team Terry and Charles versus Team Rich. And what we're going to do is we're going to add up our exactas and trifectas from the four horses at our picks. 50-cent trifecta box, $1 exacta box. So we're going to add up our hot dog and pick four and prime rib pick four winnings. Add them all up, and at the end of the month, whoever's won the most, if you're on Team Terry and Charles and they win, we'll pull a name out of a hat, and that person will get a free hoodie. If you're on Team Rich and Team Rich wins, we'll pull that name out of a hat and go ahead and send you a hoodie of your choice from Horse Racing Today. Wearing orange today, Terry. I should have worn that orange yesterday. Head on over to our social sites you see down below there at Horse Race, the number 2 day, Horse Race, the number 2 day, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Let us know whose team you're on. All right, Terry. Are you ready to make our picks today for the track at Horseshoe Indianapolis? You are indeed. All right, let's see if maybe we unmute you if it helps a little bit. We'll see. It's not working really all that well. All right, so race number 1. Is a 5.5 furlong race. We got a bunch of those 5.5 furlong races today at Horseshoe Indianapolis. So far at the meet, the bias, as you can imagine, for the track does favor early speed. Post 4 through 7 play fair. If you wear an 8 and an out, there is a little bit of a penalty. Of course, we have our way to the winner's circle worksheet. There's a scratch in the opening race here that might impact the race a bit. The E horse, again, just to recap, E means horses that need the lead to win. EP are either pilots or co-pilots, but usually no more than 2 lengths off the leader. The P horses tend to be co-pilots. They never really win off the lead, but again, within 2 lengths of the leader. Your pressure closer types at times can be the closers. At times they want to be passengers. These horses are always in the back of the plane. We see here that we have our first introduction to a left arrow horse today, meaning this closer, if it runs its typical early pace type numbers, should move forward, challenge this 6 horse who also has a box around him, meaning it should be one that's towards the front. But this 6 horse also has a pretty interesting combination of early speed, the most late pace, add the 2 together, and it has the top early pace, late pace combination in the field, Terry. All right, for this Terry Tuesday, start us off with your picks in race number 1.
All right, then I'm going to start out. Actually, my first pick was the one that got scratched, so I had to go ahead and change to my second pick. I like the number 6, First Crown. He ran third versus similar in his last race and has received the highest last speed rating. And then number 3 is my second pick, Rumble Ready. He comes in from Churchill Downs to try Horseshoe Indianapolis for the first time. He has the best start speed among today's starters. And then number 4 is my third pick, Gray Charmer. Has a good jockey and a decent workout on October 22nd. Number 5 is my fourth pick, Michael George. He may improve while trying dirt, and the trainer wins 50% of the time when going from a main claiming to a maiden race.
All righty then. So let's see how I stack up for the first race in Horseshoe Indianapolis today. Race number 1. I'm going to start at this horse race, the number 6 horse, First Crown, just like you, Terry. Terry, in my computer once again. I think we've settled that once and for all. This horse is one that does have some of the most early paces we mentioned in the Way to the Winner's Circles worksheet, but also the most late pace. So I always say you can't pass what you can't catch, and I don't think they're going to catch the 6 horse today. Number 3, Rumble Ready, is my left arrow racehorse. It is running from a maiden claiming $75,000 at Churchill to maiden special weight today at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Got a feeling that's kind of a drop. Number 4 is Gray Charmer. Should be better in the 3rd race after a layoff, which is a 22% winning angle for trainer Kim Hammond. And finally, number 2, Uncle Buff. This guy says its resume says, yes, indeed. Throw out that last race. Pay attention to the second start off the layoffs, because those tend to be by far the best for Mr. Buff. All right, race number 2 is another 5.5 furlongs. It is an optional claiming for $75,000. It does have a purse of $16,500, so I'm running for a little bit of money there. If we once again look at our Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet for race number 2, I finally, Terry, realized it made sense to put him from race 1 and then race 2 over here instead of going up and down. Can't believe it took me that long to figure that out. But hey, when you're old, sometimes the brain cells don't work the way they want to. Here you have a race that's got a very interesting race shape to me, because everybody wants to be the pilot or wants to be the co-pilot. And in that case, usually you want the speed of the speed, which looks like it's going to be the 4 to me. It does have a plus advantage at the 2 furlong marker. 3 horse should be the one that tails right along. Terry Tuesday, take us through Terry's tips for race number 2.
All right, I'll do that for you. I like the number 3 horse as my first pick, Foot Rub Love. She has won 4 out of 8 starts this year and has the highest last race speed rating. Then I like number 1, My Dark Secret. She has a good jockey, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like number 4, Jesus Bell. She has an early foot and ran second versus similar in her last race. And then number 2 is my 4th pick, Shape on You. She finished 3rd versus similar her last race, and she likes this distance.
I'm going to go ahead and make the 1 horse here today, My Dark Secret. Do you have any of those, Terry?
Yeah.
We won't talk about it here. Anyway, this one should be close to the pace and this field, and it has the most late pace in the field. So I think it's going to sit right off the early leaders and then just run right by them when they get into the stretch. Number 4 is my second choice. This is Jesus Bell. Does have that 2 plus advantage at 2 furlongs. It has a nice maintenance workout between races, so a horse that should remain sharp. Number 5 is the E Street Angel. This horse likes the Horseshoe Indianapolis track, particularly the dirt. 10 times out, 4 wins, and a second. Today, catching a little bit of a weight break. Finally, number 3, Foot Rub Love. I think everybody loves a foot rub, right? Does have the top. They can be a little ticklish though at times. Does have the top last race speed figure with 3 consecutive speed figure increases, looking to make it 4. And on top of those increased speed figures, also ran some faster fractions last out. Again, another horse that looks to be sharp right now. Race 3 at Horseshoe Indianapolis is our 3rd in a row at 5.5 furlongs. Again, for 5.5 furlongs, you do want to have a little bit of early speed. Particularly from posts 1 through 7, 8 and out catches a little bit of a penalty. Our Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet for race number 3 looks a little bit like this. It's a pretty flattened out here race, but pretty even. Everybody should get the race shape they're looking for. The 4 horse of the speed horses does have the most early pace, also has the top late pace advantage. And if you put the 2 together, the 4 horse has a plus early pace, late pace. I mean, should be involved from beginning to end. It could be a very difficult one to beat. It's your best bet race, Terry. Is the 4 by chance your best bet?
Absolutely is. Yes, you hit it right on the nose.
Because you are in my notes.
I like number 4, Silver Moon Road. She's going for her 5th win in a row at Horseshoe Indianapolis, has the highest last speed rating. She has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 6 is my second pick, Teos. He finished 3rd versus 3rd in his last race, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like number 3 as my third pick, Double Advantage. He won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Has a trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days. Been in the money in 12 out of 14 races, and they won 5 of those starts. Then my fourth pick is number 1, Highest Praise. He is a closer who ran second in his last race and may just clip these leaders at the wire.
All righty. So your best bet is the 4-horse for race 3. Yeah, I'm going to start off there too, Terry, with that early pace edge and the top late pace. Again, on one of those horses, you can't pass them if you can't catch them. I don't know that they'll be able to catch this horse who has the top early pace, late pace combination in the field. My next horse is number 3, Double Advantage. Might have a double advantage over these. Did run better fractions last out. I'm always impressed with horses that run faster. And then on top of that, 3 consecutive speed figure increases. So another one that looks like it's on the improve. Number 6, Teos. It's yet another horse in this race that ran better times in the first half mile of its last race. Been on this Horseshoe Indianapolis dirt course twice with a win and a third, so apparently likes the surface. Number 5, boy, I like when they run all these words together. Anytime, all the time. Only EP horse in the field, which I like horses that stand out by themselves, that have an apparent race shape advantage. Should give it the opportunity, if they go too fast, to sit right off the pace. If they go too slow, an opportunity to set up in the front and make them come get them. Race 4, we finally break away from a mile, from 5.5 furlongs, and we go to 1.5 miles. This is an optional claiming for $10,000, a purse of $18,000 for fillies and mares that are 3 years old and upwards. A mile and a 16th on the main track. So far, at least, you see early speed is the way to go, especially horses that are in posts 4 through 7. In our way to the winner's circle, again, a pretty short field, only 6 horses. You have a bunch of horses that have some versatility up front with the 2, the 3, and the 4. They can be pilot, they can be co-pilot. Of that trio, looks to me like the 3-horse has the most early pace, has a plus advantage at 4 furlongs. If you're looking for late speed, the 2-horse has the most of it, followed by the lone closer back here, the 6. If this group up here decides they want to go a little bit fast, this horse might be the one to collect them at the end. Terry, in race number 4 to end the opening pick 4, how are you going to stack them?
Well, I like the number 2 horse, Long Leg Laverne. She is going for her 5th win in a row at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Has the highest last speed rating, has won 10 races out of 16 starts at today's distance. So she really likes today's distance. Then I like number 6, Talk Radio, as my second pick. She has closed to win 5 out of her last 6 races. She only missed winning by a head on the one that she lost, and she comes to Horseshoe Indianapolis for the first time. And then number 4, I'm missing that one. Had a mental block there. Anyway, Rescution Road. She won her last race at Hawthorne, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's distance. Then number 3, Hot Dame. She has the highest last race speed rating. The distance shouldn't be a problem for her.
All right, so this time you did copy me exactly, Terry.
Well,
You could switch them around a little bit. I got the 2-horse, 2 long-legged Laverne, as you mentioned. The horse likes Horseshoe Indianapolis. Terry, 10 races at Horseshoe Indy, and has itself 9 wins. So 9 out of 10. My math says 90%. How do you bet against that, especially when the other one was a second? Number 6, you have Talk Radio. There's a lone closer in the field full of horses that like to come up front. So should chase down the pilots or co-pilots that tire as the race comes to a close. Number 4, Resurrection Road, won her last race, and it was very easy. It's one that's done well at this distance, 12 times out, 3 wins, a second, and 4 thirds. So might as well put it in third. Seems to be its preferred finishing place. Finally, number 3, Hot Dame, did run the top last race speed figure, which was on grass, and did run much, much faster fractions. So this horse race goes back to dirt, where I think you might see a little bit slower fractions out of this one. Race number 4, as we alluded to just a second ago, does wrap up the early pick 4. That is our hot dog pick 4, Terry. We put together, Terry's $20. We put together a Pick 4, where we only have a $20 budget. I spent 18 going 2, 3, 2, 3. Terry put his together with 20, singling that 4 in race number 3. Probably a smart move, Terry. I agree. But yeah, sometimes if you can beat that one that's likely to be a very big favorite, it gives you a shot to get a fatter ticket. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't normally like to single, but I felt like the second and fourth race, especially, were really wide open. So I really wanted to get some coverage there, and the only way to do that was to single the 4.
Hmm. So Barry asked the question, fellas, I'm trying to figure out why folks who make the odds like David Aragona for Naira and Tommy the Hammer Missiles are allowed to give out picks and shows and such. Seems like there could be a bias there since they're the odds makers. Well, the odds makers from when we talk, because we've actually had David Aragona on our Horse Center show. So, yeah, Barry, if you're on Horse Racing Radar TV, if you just go into the search bar and put in David Aragona, we've talked to him twice. We've actually asked that question about not specifically about being a conflict of interest, but about making a line and then making his picks. And what David told us is that as far as the line is concerned, he's not at all concerned about which horse is going to win or which horse is going to not win. What he's trying to predict is how the bettors are going to bet. That's what he does with the morning line. And so for him, his picks are a completely different set of criteria in terms of how he handicaps his own races. So I don't know. He does a lot of work with the time form because he works for time form, David Aragona. That's another position for him. So I think they probably use a lot of the time form data to make their picks. But as far as the morning line goes, completely just trying to use, he says he's got, what, Terry, do you remember? I think he said he looks at about 8 to 10 things that the typical handicapper he finds uses. And then from there, he goes ahead and tries to guess. And for him with the morning line, he said that he feels like it's a win if he comes close to, what was it, 3 out of 4 horses or something like that?
Yes, I agree. What you just said is exactly what he said. So
he views them as two completely different things. And one, he says, doesn't influence the other.
right, and that's how most of the odds setter for the tracks do it. They try to decide how the public's going to bet, not so much how they think it's going to end up. So,
So yeah, I don't know if there's a conflict of interest there or not. I mean, I could see that your point on that, but they make it pretty transparent when they've met and talked with us that they completely put the two different things in two different boxes. All right, Terry, we're going to move on to race number 5. This one was supposed to be a mile and a 16th on the turf. I have a feeling, and I hadn't had a chance to check it, so maybe you did, but based upon all the scratches, my guess it's moved off the turf, right?
yeah, I would think so. That seems to me that's why we had all the scratches. So
Yeah, because on the when you go to the Twin Spires and so forth, it did not show yet if the races had been moved off the turf. My guess is with all the scratches, it has been moved off the turf. If it's moved off the turf, it was supposed to be a mile and a 16th on the turf. It's going to be a mile and a 16th on dirt. If not, it's a claiming $10,000 race. As we mentioned, just in one race back, thankfully. If it is on dirt, there is an early speed bias that does favor posts 4 through 7. This one is my long shot of the day. Let's talk first about what the race shape looks like for race number 5. So with all these horses here, you can see a lot of them were in the closing column. Just about every single one was in the closing column. These guys are all out. This guy is out. So it doesn't even leave a whole lot. Everybody in here was supposed to close because the turf was a one that favored closers. Now you got a bunch of closers. You got to figure out which one's going to be the fastest of the bunch. That could be the 5 horse in here because it does have the most early pace, late pace punch of the two, but also carries the most late pace. I think this race is going to be kind of wide open, Terry. That's why I made it my long shot. Why don't you tell us who your 4 picks are, and then I'll tell you who my long shot is. And I think you're on mute right now still. So start over. I got you.
Okay. As you said, there was lots and lots of scratches. Really changed around how I looked at this race. And so I ended up going with that, what I think is going to be the speed, which is the 5. What's Up Sweets? You know, she's in top form right now, winning 2 of her last 3 races. And she returns to the well, she doesn't return to the turf, but she is finishing the money in both starts, winning.
So
one of
when you were a
those.
young single man, Terry, when you were out, was that your pickup line?
Yeah, yeah. What's up, sweets? Not really.
Today you get smacked.
I
Anyway.
would, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that kind of stuff. Anyway, number 12 was my second pick, complete. She ran second versus similar to her last race, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 14 is my third pick, the Beauty's Tale. She drops in class today and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then I like number 4, Chinatown Nancy. She ran third in her last race at Horseshoe International.
Yes, indeed. So my long shot in this spot for race number 5, I'm going to start off with the 5 horse here too. What's up, Sweets? Although it's probably not going to be a long shot with all the scratches anymore. This one's down in class after running some better fractions last out and does have the top late pace. Should be better in round 2 after the layoff. Number 12, as Terry is in my computer once again, is complete. This one has run well on the Horseshoe Indianapolis turf, but it's been off since August the 29th. The off-the-bench record does suggest one usually needs a race. But when I did all my rankings, it also ranked out as the best horse in the field. So I actually downgraded it a little bit here. Number 7, Flight Zelda, was better in the second half of her last race. I think this one is more likely than probably any of the others in the field to continue moving up the ladder in the third start off a layoff. Then finally, number 14, the Beauty's Tale. This one had some major improvement in its last race, and today it's going to move up in class. Race number 6, Terry, is to box it up. If you could type in the numbers real quick while I'm talking about what the profile of the winner looks like in the 6th race. Race number 6 is hold on one second, let me put it on here so I get the race things on here. Race 6 is I got to be ahead of myself here, is 1 mile, maiden claiming $12,500 for a purse of $16,500 at a mile on the main track so far at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Early speed has been the way. You don't want to wear the red one because there is a little bit of a penalty. 2 through 7 play fair, and if you catch the 8 and out again, you do catch a penalty there as well. So you got to be a little bit careful with the inside horses and the outside horses. Our profile of a winner for race number 6. You can see a couple scratches here as well. The 2 horse got knocked out. The 1 horse got knocked out. The 3 horse is your lone early pace horse and does have some early speed. That's why he's boxed off. 6 horse over here is one that is a left arrow horse, got some early pace, usually towards the back. Today should move forward. Got a couple of lines in here you see, and then down arrows. This indicates which way these horses are moving in the maiden ranks. See a couple droppers in here, the 8 horse and the 4. 4 horse does have the most late pace. In fact, it has a plus late pace advantage and a plus early pace, late pace combination. Terry, take us through your box it up and tell us why you selected these 4 horses.
Mute myself.
Yes, there you go.
And let me say that in the 6th, I like the number 7, Lush Be a Lady. She's knocking at the door, running second for the second time in a row, and has a decent workout on October 11th. And then I like number 8, Lantana Justice. She has returned to the dirt, drops in class today. Trainer wins 25% of the time when going from turf to dirt. And then number 4, Gypsy Rose Lee. She has the highest last race speed rating, drops in class today, has a trainer, wins 30% of the races when dropping a horse down 2 classes. And then number 3, Golden Heist. She may improve while returning to dirt. And I like this box it up because I think there's not going to be any real hard favorites in here. So.
All right. Well, this is interesting, Terry, because once again, we're not too far off from each other in our picks here. I'm going to start off in race number 6 with the 4 horse, Gypsy Rose Lee. It's how I got it in there. Did run the top last race speed figure in this field. It is one of the 2 true class droppers. Much better fractions last out. If you look through the past performances, a lot of times you see a horse is dropping in class in these maiden ranks where it went from like its last race was maiden special weight or a higher mating number. For me, I'm looking to see if this horse has ever run at this level before. And if it has and didn't perform well, or, obviously it hasn't won, I don't think if it's just bouncing around, but it's already run at this level and not won, that it's a drop in class. To me, it's a horse that's running where it's run already. Number 7, Lush Be a Lady, is the lone PC horse in this field. This one should be better in the third start off a layoff and has really been knocking on the winner's circle door at the distance. 5 times out, 3 seconds and 2/3. So just looking to make that go today. Number 8 is Latana Justice. This racehorse is the only true maiden special weight dropper to maiden claiming and has some of the most late pace in the field. And a lot of times when these horses make that maiden special weight to maiden claiming drop, they also move forward. So you put the move forward with the best late pace, probably going to be a good combination. Finally, number 3, Golden Heist. This doesn't look like it on paper, but this one, to me, when I ran my numbers, looks like it could be on the pace from the go. Race 7, I'm a little bit better, more organized. Once again, we go back to 5.5 furlongs. This one is a maiden special weight for $36,000. It is for a purse of $36,000. So nothing surprising there. Our way to the winner circle worksheet for race number 7. You see, again, a pretty interesting race shape in here. One scratch, I think, could be impactful on the race. That's the 4 horse getting knocked out. A first-time starter back here with the 1. You got a whole bunch of other first-time starters, the 2, the 3, the 6, and the 9. Not quite sure what you're going to get out of them. The lone E-horse in here, the 7, didn't look like it had the early pace numbers necessary to get to the front. But with these horses, you do never know. That designation looks like it's going to go to the 8 horse now, which could prove to be lone speed versus a field of closers. But all these horses right here, the 10, the 11, and the 12, their early pace figures should put them on or close to the lead as well. Should be a very competitive race in here, Terry, in race number 7 in this maiden claiming ranks. It's your long shot. Tell us which one it is.
All right, I'll do that. My long shot in this race is number 8, Castle Magic. She ran a good second versus similar in her debut race, earning the highest last speed rating, and her best dirt speeds, fastest among today's starters. And then I like number 11, Chicken Burger. She ran third versus similar in the same race as Castle Magic as the heavily bet favorite and has Lasix and blinkers added for this race. Then number 6, Sharon's Gray Hope. She is a first-time starter whose sire wins 20% of the time with first-time starters, and her dam has 1 winner from 1 starter. And then I like number 10, Flat Out Callie. She ran a good 4th versus similar in her debut race. As a trainer, wins 17% of the 2-year-old races he has an entry in.
I'm going to start off race number 7 with the 11. So 7-11. In the 11 horse here, Cricken Burger. World Economic Forum, right? You're going to eat bugs and you're going to like it. Anyway, Cricken Burger should be close to the early pace and has also the plus late pace edge in here. I like that combination, especially when you put it together with first-time Lasix. I think the 11 has a good shot to get to the front and just maybe never give it up. Although that outside post could be a little bit of a challenge. Number 8, for me, Castle Magic did run the top last race speed figure in its debut. If she runs the same early pace in this race, she could be involved all the way around the track from go to photo. Number 10 is my third choice. Flat Out Cali was well bet in its debut, too. Has enough early pace in this race to be close all the way around the track. And what I like is this horse has a maintenance workout between races, so should be sharp. Finally, number 6, same 4 horses, a little different order. Sharon's Gray Hope looks like the best of the first-time starters to me. Trainer Anthony Granitz, when he debuts at maiden special weight, wins at a healthy 24%. The last race in the thoroughbreds is race number 8. It's also the last of the second of the pick 4s. Terry and I will bring up our pick 4s in just a moment. Race number 8 is 6 furlongs, claiming $5,000 for a purse of $12,500. And at 6 furlongs, the profile of a winner looks like you want to have either inside speed, so 1, 2, or 3, or outside speed, 8 and out. But the kind of speed you're looking for is probably tactical speed. You want to be the co-pilot or maybe the assistant pilot. Speed horses do win from time to time. But for the most part, it looks to me like you want to chase the leader and not necessarily be the leader. if we look at the way this race breaks down, it's interesting to me that you see that all of these horses, you know why this worked out like this? Because I was running out of paper at the bottom. So I had to go and challenge what paper I had left. But most of these horses want to pressure the leader and not necessarily be on the leader. The 6 horse might be the leader, does have a plus early pace advantage at 4 furlongs, meaning when they hit the half-mile marker, could be as much as a length ahead of everybody else. If you're looking for the horse that's going to have the most speed at the end, that is going to be most likely your 3 horse. Terry, this one is my box it up. But before we get to my box it up, how are you going to close out the thoroughbred picks at Horseshoe Indianapolis?
Well, I like the number 7 horse, Race Day Attire. She has finished 80% of the time in the money at Horseshoe Indianapolis. So it really means she likes this track. She won 20% of those starts. Then I like number 3, Lucky Wise. She ran second versus similar in her last race and finished in the money in 3 out of the last 4 races at Horseshoe Indianapolis, winning one of those starts. Number 10, Cross the Line. She ran second versus Tougher in her last race. She should improve at this shorter distance, and she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. The trainer-jockey combination the last 14 days been in the money 12 out of 14 times, winning 5 of those. Then my 4th and final pick, number 6, Selena Singh. She drops in class today, and she has a trainer who wins 21% of the claiming races he has a starter in.
So where you stop, I start. I'm going to start off with number 6, Selena Song. Selena Song has, as I mentioned, that plus early pace advantage at 2 furlongs. It's almost a plus at 4 furlongs. So at the half mile marker, this guy could be, Selena Singh could be maybe a length and a half in front of everybody else. Just have 2 furlongs to hang on to close out the race. Number 1, Summer Home, is the lone EP horse in the field. Just went wire to wire with its 4th consecutive speed number increase in a row. And with that improved speed number, you also see it improved from the beginning to the middle to the end of that last race. Horse number 7, Race Day Attire, just missed in its last race, which seems to be something it likes to do at Horseshoe Indianapolis, where it's run 5 times, won 1 of them, but seems to hang at the end because finished second 3 times. And then finally, closing out the thoroughbred picks for today, number 3, Lucky Wise, does have the most late pace in the field, the most or the best combination of early and late pace. And this one's another horse that ran some better fractions in its last start. So for me, my box it up, 6, 1, 7, and 3, Terry. And that also closes out the second pick 4 of the day, which is our prime rib pick 4. We both went the traditional 4x4x4x3 route, just kind of switched up which races we did the 3 in. Terry's going to start off with 3, and I'm going to go with 3 in race number 6. Otherwise, we got a lot of the same coverage in the end. So there's a lot of ways for you and I to end up being winners today in our hot dog and prime rib pick 4s. I think based upon the way you and I picked the card here, Terry, today, short fields, there could be some short prices because a lot of folks might see the same things we see.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's going to be a chalky day to me. So,
well, I hope if whatever shots come in, we get them. But remember, today, folks, is the day we're going to start November. Through the month of November, there's a contest now. It's Team Terry and Charles versus Team Rich, because otherwise, if Terry and Charles would only have 2 days, and I would have 4, and I would win all the time. But Team Terry and Team Charles, we're going to add up all of our exactas and all of our trifectas from the 4 horses that we have in each one of our picks. $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box. Then we're also going to include our hot dog and prime rib pick 4 winnings. At the end of the month, we're going to tally them up and see who did the best. And then if you pick Team Rich and Team Rich wins, pull the name out of a hat. Someone will get a nice Horse Racing Today hoodie. If Team Charles and Team Terry win, we'll pull the name out of that hat and you'll get a nice, if you want, Horse Racing Today t-shirt. We'll leave that up to you. Here are our full picks today for the Horseshoe Indianapolis track. You can see from race 1 through 8. My best bet is in race number 2, the number 1. Terry's best bet's in race number 3. That gives us a chance for a best bet daily double. Hopefully we can hit that one, Terry. And then my long shot's in race number 5. It might not be a long shot with all the scratches afterwards. Terry's is in race number 7. Our box it ups, 4 horses, $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent super. Terry, race number 6. Rich in race number 8. Hot Dog Prep 4 starting in race number 1. Terry going to go with that heavy favorite with the 4 as a single, otherwise getting a lot of coverage elsewhere. I put the 3 behind that heavy favorite, hoping to actually beat it. So that way we can get a nice ticket out of that one. Prime Rib pick 4s, again, look like this. And then finally today, Terry, they do have a 330-yard, what I call popcorn race or a lottery race. What do you got?
Yeah, let me tell you what I have here. I like number 3, Tim All Aboard. Yeah, ran a nice third in her last race. And then I like number 1, Wanna Be a Runway. With a better break, she'll finish better in this race because she had a pretty bad break last time. And then number 6, Good Candy Girl. She finished third in her last race and cuts back in distance, and I think that could help. And then number 5, I Am the Man Delphin. He has finished in the money in 3 of his last 5 races, so he's always kind of in the mix.
I'm not quite sure how all this goes, Terry, so I'm just going to go with the 1, the 3, the 6, and the 2. I can... these popcorn races where anything can happen once the gate opens are always kind of interesting to me. So, I really try to stick with the thoroughbreds. A little later on today, at about 8 o'clock, exactly 8 o'clock Eastern today, you're going to want to join us because this is Breeders' Cup week. Our guest on Horse Center is going to be Kurt Becker. He is the race caller at Keeneland. And guess where they're having the Breeders' Cup, Terry?
At Keeneland.
Absolutely. So we're hoping to get some great track insights from Mr. Becker and some of the observations he's made during the Keeneland meet to see if we can put a little bit of that to work in our handicapping for the Breeders' Cup. Speaking of which, we will add guaranteed tip sheet by the end of the week, hopefully by the end of tomorrow. I'll be working a lot of hours the next couple of days. We'll have all of our picks for the Breeders' Cup, including our much anticipated, very exclusive and in-depth wagering guide that'll cover all of the stakes races on Friday and Saturday. But today, if you're going to play at Finger Lakes, it is the free track. Just go over to Horse Race Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description below. Please click on that or any of the links that you see at horseracingtoday.net or on any of our social sites so they know where you are coming from. Then finally, the picks with the professor. Make sure you head over to Professor Sides. The World Series is going to resume this evening between the Phillies and the Astros. And all of those who want the economy to do well should be on the side of the Astros. I don't know if you saw this stat, Terry, but when the Phillies win, like financial calamity comes. Like the Philadelphia Athletics won in like 1929. The Phillies won in like 1970, there was 87 or something like that with the market crash. And then they won again in 2008 with the subprime crime. It was a crime. We'll go with subprime crime. So if the Phillies win, folks, you better buy gold or something because the economy is going to tank.
That's very interesting. I had no idea that it was like that. So
yeah, some really crazy. I mean, it's a meaningless stat, but because it has nothing to do with the economy, but it's kind of weird. So let's just not test it. I think that's the best plan.
I believe you. Yep.
All right. So once again, head over to the Picks with the Professor. There is a link down there. You should have baseball picks tonight. You can watch his videos while you're over on the video where they break down every single game. College basketball is about to start too, and Professor Sides is really good at college basketball as well. So if you do a little sports betting with your horse racing betting, whatever you do, don't overdo it. If you do have an issue, please seek help. We're here for the fun of it. I'm mostly a hot dog bettor. Terry's a little bit more of a prime rib better than I am, but we still have a lot of fun and keep it within our means. All right, Terry, any final thoughts before we get up and out of here today?
Yeah, just be good this week. Hope you do well at the races. I'm getting ready for the Breeders' Cup. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure a lot of people are. Good luck if you're going to play those. And, tell your loved ones how you feel. You just never know what's going to happen day to day.
Indeed, true. Treat people like you want to be treated. That's always a good way to go through the day to day. One of the things you read about too, I think this is a great piece of advice as well. And that is to go ahead and, live today as if though today was the last day of your life. What would you do today differently if you knew that tomorrow you wouldn't be here? Who is the horse you trust the most between the Unitary run and the 7th run? You mean like race number 1? You mean race number 1 and race number 7? So in race number 1, Terry and I both like the 6. I think that horse looks like it's the best to me. Race number 7, I think it's between the 8 and the 11. Terry's best bet today, Camille, is in race number. That's what the BB here stands for. So his is in race number 3. That 4 horse is going to be a big favorite. I think it is going to be tough to beat. I like the 1 horse in the race before that. So those are our best bets for the day. Our full picks at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Tomorrow, Charles and I will be back to cover Mahoning Valley. And then on Thursday, we'll do Churchill Downs. Again, keep an eye on our social sites, Horse Race Today, and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're going to announce something for Saturday for the Breeders' Cup. You're going to want to be a part of that. At the same time, you're going to also want to watch our Horse Center show. And then, Terry, I had one other thing I wanted to say, but I forget what it is, so it can't be that important. Whatever it is, folks, I'll remember it right after we hang up. That's it, Terry.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. I hope I can remember. I can't remember, but whatever it is you're doing for the day today, whether you're betting at the races, you're at work, you're just taking it easy and you're chilling, please make sure that no matter what you do, it ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Terry Tuesday. We'll see you tonight and we'll see you tomorrow. And I got to press the right button now.